Hello, hello, beautiful people. So I haven't done a live in a long time, but I've not got much space on my phone, so I felt let's go for a live. Let's do this. Yeah, just moisturize using some beautiful coconut oil and shea butter and castor oil, and it's just so good all mixed together for the skin. Just come out of the bath feeling radiant. Was raging a little bit at first, and I was feeling like there's a lot of energy inside that wants to come out and a lot of messages that may want to come out. So yeah, just calling in the highest light, calling in Archangel Michael to bless this space, and calling in the energy, Reiki healing energy. I just want to send you some Reiki energy, some Reiki love. So I'm feeling to do some tarot cards. I'm feeling this deck, the Archangel deck, and the Light Seers tarot deck. So I think we'll go for the Archangels first. That's what I'm feeling. Yeah, how's everyone feeling today? This is a timeless reading as well whenever you're tuning into this. Yeah, I just feel to like hang out more on YouTube, hang out more and do some mystical stuff, have some fun, calling in the angels. What angel wants to come through? I feel like this one, Angel Gabriel. Divine emergence. It's time to be seen. Don't be afraid to share your power and gifts. So straight off the bat, you know, it's already a confirmation of not being scared. Hi there. Yeah, Angel Gabriel. That's such a beautiful picture as well. Here, Angel Gabriel's depicted as a female angel, but I think of Angel Gabriel as a male angel, but I suppose all angels can be male or female presenting, you know. And this is beautiful. So it's telling us, you know, it's time to be seen, and it's time to let go of those fears and share our gifts from our heart, from love, you know, from that creative passion, what comes, whatever it is you want to speak on and share in the world, your purpose. Only you can do that, you know. There's only you that have your unique gifts in this world. Hey peeps, lovely to see you here. Thanks for joining us. So for this collective here today, what other cards are wanting to come through? What angels are wanting to come through? Hi from the UK. I'm in the UK as well. That's so cool. Yes, big love, guys. Big love, big energy. What have we got? Zadkiel. Karmic release. It's time to release what's holding you back and to step into your more radiant self. So this kind of goes with this one of like not being afraid of, you know, your gifts and shining and being radiant. You know, we hold ourselves back so much in life, and yeah, it's good to just let that go and just be free, let your freak flag fly, you know, as long as we're not hurting anyone. And I bless the energies of Reiki healing energies at the beginning, and this is kind of like that Reiki light. And you know, our divine truth, this is where we speak our truth from source, comes from our throat chakra coming out into the world. Yeah, feeling it, feeling it. What else have we got here? Angel Jophiel, and that was actually the card on the bottom of the deck when I started this reading, but I didn't read it out. Trust the unfolding. There's no wrong path, only choices that take you closer to or further from love. So yeah, like when we're speaking our truth, we're in love, you know, because to truly love ourselves is to let ourselves be seen and to witness ourselves as well, and to speak our truth, you know, without censoring ourselves all the time or holding ourselves back from what our heart's calling us to do, you know, to just go for it and be that in life, you know. So have a little think about that, about what have you been holding yourself back from in life, and what things is your heart calling you to do? How can you step out of your way more and just be that, you know? There's no wrong path if it's a path aligned with your heart and authenticity, you know? Hey there, hi. Yeah, it's so good. So we've got Angel Jophiel, Angel Zadkiel, and Angel Gabriel. So there's very powerful energies coming through right now, all talking about being ourselves and stop standing in our own way, you know, and trust the unfolding and karmic release. Karmic release, that's interesting that it's interesting with the karmic release, because I've been reading this book about past lives and things, and it was saying in that we all have past lives, and when we come to this earth, our struggles and things are like debts what are to be repaid. So it's like our karma, and we come back and we keep coming back until we learn the lessons, else we hold on to those things and take it into the next lifetime. So it's really great to release, you know, have a karmic release. What's this live about? It's about life, you know. It's about the angel messages, what are coming through. Yeah, so if you stop and wait and listen, you'll see what it's about, you know. We're living in the moment here and seeing what flows from our hearts, and yeah, what comes through naturally. So yeah, trust the unfolding, divine emergence. You know, there's no wrong path when we're following our hearts. That's the message here, you know. And I've been feeling called to share some card readings. I do card readings for myself a lot, but I haven't really shared them much on here. But yeah, just feeling. We've got Angel Raphael. So Archangel Raphael is the angel of healing, and he's the color of green. Clarity of vision. Be willing to see things differently to initiate healing and experience wholeness. So it's always good to get different perspectives. That's why it's great to travel and spend time in nature. I love spending time in nature. That really gives me divine insights to come through, to see different perspectives and things, you know. Yeah. And we don't have to worry about haters in life, because if we're alchemists, we'll use whatever energy is given to us as fuel to grow and learn and expand, you know. Sometimes my biggest breakthroughs have been from haters calling me out on something, even if there's no truth to it. That's what self-inquiry is all about. We look within and seek the truth, and you know, we can turn that lead into gold and use it for fuel, use it to create more, you know. I was actually speaking on my Instagram about wrath, and about how wrath is a 7 deadly sin, but rage and anger isn't a deadly sin, because you can have sacred rage, you can have sacred anger, what comes through to create change in the world, you know, and to make things different. So yeah, I love this. And we'll have one more angel card. Archangel Ariel. Sacred activist. Protect what is right and just, and let love lead the way. So that's what we were saying about following our hearts and letting love lead the way, you know. And we should always let love lead the way, you know. What's true to our hearts, and we live in the divine law of one love in our heart space, you know. So even if it's that tough love sometimes, that might be what we need to come into our loving fullness. So yeah, we have these beautiful cards, beautiful angels. Who here believes in angels? I feel like angels are a beautiful frequency to tune into, and when we have issues or problems, we can speak to the angels and ask them for help or guidance to help show us the way. I know even if I lose something, sometimes I'll just be like, angels, where did I put this? And then, you know, it pops into my head wherever the lost thing is, you know. They really help so much, so I'm so grateful. And I did pick another one, Raguel. So this is waves of healing. Be open and vulnerable, as this will initiate healing and harmonious resolution. So that follows in line with what we're saying as well. You know, being open and vulnerable and putting ourselves out there and finding harmonious resolution, you know. We can alchemize all hate into love, you know. There's so much power what we have in ourselves, and you know, to when we're living in our truth and in our authenticity, then nothing can harm us because we know our own pure hearts is true, you know. And any feedback we can use to grow and develop and create more change in the world or create the life that we love, you know. It's powerful stuff. And we have hope. It's time for a call back to the lost parts of yourself, authentic reclamation, you know, and we reclaim all parts of ourselves. Sometimes it can be distorted in the energies, and yeah, and when we go through trauma in life, it can split apart our energies and leave fragments of us trapped in the past. But when we're living in the moment and living in our truth and working at healing and really holding and loving ourselves, we begin to let go of some of these things and repay our debts and our karma and our trauma, you know. I feel to take some of the Light Seers tarot. Yeah, maybe I should have put in the title what this live was about, but we gotta be about the mysteries of life sometimes, you know. The mysteries in life. So, what messages want to come through? This one. But I'll pull some different ones and then we can read them as well from the... We can read them from the booklet, because I like to do that as well as intuitively flowing with what's coming. It's kind of like the masculine side and the feminine, or the mystical, intuitive side. But yeah, I love the wording of things in these tarot cards. So what else wants to come through for this collective, or anyone watching or tuning in, or in whatever time? Well, maybe it's wanting me to just read this first one first because no cards are popping out right now. But this one did. The Five of Cups. The Five of Cups. And this is beautiful tarot, this. The Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann. And it's really beautiful. This is my favourite tarot deck. So we have the Five of Cups, and the cups are the energy of love. And I literally flicked it right onto the Six of Cups. So that's crazy, but we're on the Five of Cups. So she's like just sort of playing a bit lackadaisical there, you know, a bit when you're bored or whatever. And she's just tipping the essence down the way, and I feel in a way it's kind of speaking on procrastination or sadness, you know, when we're trapped in some energy sometimes, and like just letting that our energies waste away sometimes, you know, by hiding ourselves and not shining our light in the world. And yeah, so, and she kind of has like more essence in that mystical bowl that's like next to her, but she's pouring her essence away down the drain and kind of looking sorry and sad for herself in the nighttime. But then it's like the light's reflecting onto her still. So Light Seer. So on this tarot they have like the light and the shadow side. So Light Seer: grieving, disillusion, disappointment, betrayal, bitterness, wallowing, self-pity, can signify a broken heart. And the shadow seer, not letting go of past trauma, crying over spilt milk, rooted deeply into shadow work without healing and letting go, old stories that become a part of you, callousness and becoming jaded. I feel like that's very relatable. You know, sometimes we can get so stuck in the things what we've been through, and especially in this world where we don't always have community or people to talk to about what's going on in our worlds and what's going on in life, you know, and the same patterns can keep repeating. So that's why we need to release that and let that go. And even on the angel cards that were pulled, you know, that was all about being seen, and like there's no wrong path, and just letting things flow, you know, and being open to being vulnerable, you know. And sometimes it's vulnerable to speak our truth, sometimes it's vulnerable to speak from our hearts or speak on the things what we've been through in life. But it's so important to do that, to let those emotions out, or they stagnate and cause disease and disharmony. But it's so good for us to release those things and let ourselves be seen, let our light shine. And that's the shining light, what brings us out of the darkness, what leads us out of the way. Yeah, the illusion is lifting, and you may suddenly find yourself in the middle of a reality that is painfully disappointing. If your dark night was a result of someone else's deception, you'll need to find seeds of forgiveness in order to avoid a calloused heart. So that's it as well. When we're forgiving others, it's not always about the other person. A lot of the time it's about ourselves and releasing, so we don't have to hold on to all that animosity and stress and pain, and we can let it go. And forgiveness doesn't always mean reconciliation. We don't have to reconcile with people. We can just forgive them and let go of that timeline, let go of that thing, and see what that situation or that person was teaching us, or, you know, to learn and grow and develop from that, to be stronger and wiser in the future. I know I've been through enough things, and yeah, something I've struggled with is sometimes letting go of the things of the past and the hurts of the past. Yeah, but then it's only ever held me down. So then it's good for us to release these in creative ways, you know, maybe through poetry or song or just movement, dancing it out, or just going somewhere secluded and screaming, or screaming into a pillow, or, you know, journaling, writing it down, getting it out, hearing ourselves and listening to ourselves and validating ourselves is so important. And forgiving ourselves, because sometimes we choose the wrong people, or we choose situations or people that are harmful to us, and maybe we know better, but then we still go that way. But there's always something that was needed to be learned there, or grown through, or a karmic debt to be paid, you know. Release yourself from any guilt around the situation. When we realize that the future we were working towards is no longer an option, it's easy to focus on the loss and allow our energy to stagnate and spiral into self-pity. Don't allow your life force to drain away with the things you once loved. Yeah, and that's it in the picture. Like, she's letting her golden essence like just tip down the drain, you know, and it's like cutting off our nose despite our faces. And sometimes, well, all times, what's been removed from our lives is making space for better, you know. Even if sometimes we have to let go of a person, we might come back to that person more evolved and they be more evolved, but we needed that separation. Or we might never see them again in our lives, and we meet someone else totally different who inspires us in a different way. But we needed to make that space for that to come through, you know. Yeah. Allow your tender heart to navigate. But nag kind of come out then. I feel like it can be a nagging thing on our psyche sometimes when we don't let go of something. And we got to ask ourselves, why is it hard to let go of this situation or person or feeling, and really self-inquire about that and journal about it, or even just meditate on it. Like, what is this trying to teach me? Why can't I let this go? Yeah, allow your tender heart to navigate towards the curative magic of finding faith in your future. And that's it. We've always got to have faith, like having faith that the future, like the universe or God or whatever you call it, you know, always has the bigger plan, knows the bigger plan, you know. So we may think, oh, this was the best thing I had, and da 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 da, and I can't ever get that again. But maybe there's something better in store. But we might miss it if we never miss what is meant for us, but it might take us longer to get there if we're holding on to the past so much. It's so important to live in the present moment and cultivate the energy, what we want to be feeling in life, you know, and making space for the blessings to come through. You know, sometimes we don't have the capacity to hold all the great things in store for us. So even just clearing things out the way to have the capacity for that, you know. That's something I've been working through at the moment. If you're having a hard time letting go, unhook your heart from your fragmented dreams and give yourself permission to envision a brighter future. That's it. Like, visualizations are so powerful and important, and we can write as if something's actually already happened. That's a really powerful way to manifest, or even just visualizing it and visualizing every detail and feeling that feeling and emotion of excitement, like it's already happened or it's happening, and how you'd want your ideal life to be. And you know, when we spend more time doing that, we bring that into our reality, because the universe doesn't know the difference, and the law of attraction, our energy magnetizes that to us. But if we're too busy wallowing on the past and all the woes and everything we've been through, like, obviously validate that and nourish and nurture that, but holding on to it and staying in that energy then just brings more of that energy and more of that lesson over and over. Like, I've experienced it myself. It's true, you know. So yeah, just when things are fragmented and broken, we can think, oh well, this is a great time to bring in what we do want and what does work, you know, as an opportunity for growth and an opportunity for more love and blessings in our lives. Dismantle your grief, reclaim your happiness, and consciously step back into a path filled with hope. Yes, that's beautiful. And that dismantling the grief, that's like I was saying about self-inquiry, you know, if we dismantle these feelings, what we have, and get to the root of it and what's calling out to be held and seen, and how can we gift that to ourselves, and reclaim our happiness, reclaim our joy, because we cultivate our own emotions from within. We cultivate joy from within, and sometimes it just takes a change of perspective. We might need to get out, go for a walk, have a dance, whatever thing. My tender heart helps me navigate towards my bright future. So that's the affirmation to say with this, if you'd like to say it. My tender heart helps me navigate towards my bright future. My tender heart helps me navigate towards my bright future. And that's what the angel cards were saying about following your heart, you know, and let love lead the way. Sacred activist, you know, and that I was saying about the sacred rage, and sometimes these emotions can fuel us into creating the life we do want, you know. Clarity and vision with Archangel Raphael, so envisioning those things, you know, and karmic release, releasing what's holding us back, what no longer serves us, you know, and trust the unfolding, trust the divine timing of it all, and trust our own rhythm and pace as well, you know, obviously not forcing ourselves to do things, but just easing into it and taking it step by step, day by day, bit by bit, you know. And then the divine emergence, don't be afraid to share your gifts, because even through the dark times, the grief and the sadness and the bad things what happen in this world, you know, when we share and share our light, we can help others through those things too, and know that we're never alone in this world, and we're all in this together, and we all go through these human things. We all grieve, we all cry, we all feel sad, but we all feel joy, and we all feel happiness, and we all feel excitement as well. And there's just so many different aspects to this wonderful human experience that we're experiencing. Yeah. So let's have another card and see what's coming through. What's coming through in these energies that needs to be heard and seen and felt, building on what we've had so far. Nothing's jumping out yet, but I might just pick one. Some's jumped out. So we've got a few here. I'll go through them one by one. So we've got the Nine of Cups here. The Nine of Cups, and that is a beautiful card. That's like, oh, joy, baby, and blessings. I got it. Yeah. And she's got that treasure chest, you know, and we're all like a treasure chest. But when we're closed off and hidden, we're hiding all our gifts and hiding all our shine. But when we're open up, we're like, whoa, look at my jewels, and I shine, baby, I shine, you know. And just jumping for joy she is, you know. So that's even confirmation that when we release the grief and we're processing through it, and we remember the love in life and the joy in life, like we're abundant and radiant, and everyone has gifts. You have unique gifts, unique talents that only you have, that nobody else in this world has like you do. What are those things, and how can you cultivate more of them, you know? The hairs under my arms so bad, it's natural, baby. It's natural. I'm a natural being, and I don't need to shave myself or deforest my body. I'm natural. I use all natural products, and I live free. I don't need the patriarchy to sell me stuff for me to love myself. I love myself how God made me. If you want to shave, that's your prerogative, but I don't want to. If you don't like it, look away. Go watch someone else's channel. Yeah, so Nine of Cups. Beautiful. Yes. Ooh, yeah, baby. You gotta be the change that you wanna see. Maintaining basic hygiene. Yes, I wash every day. Yeah, I'll wash every day. Ooh. You know, a lot of people spraying themselves with so much stuff. I use essential oils, you know. How do I? Yep, we're removing you. We'll remove you because we don't need you. If you're hating, then you're just sad and you don't love yourself. No. Are you poor? No, I'm rich, baby. I'm rich. I'm so rich. I got all the gifts and I love myself. Yeah. Ooh. You got to be authentic. Yeah. How do I block this person? How do we get rid of you? Yeah. There we go. I actually sweat more when I shave my armpits, so I keep my hair there. It soaks up the sweat. Yes, and if you wash daily, you don't smell, you know, and if there's a smell there, you can put some nice essential oils and smell like a goddess. Woo! But I only use natural products on this temple of mine, you know. Some people's just sad out there. They're just hating on others. They've got nothing better to do with their lives. I shaved my armpits for years, and yeah, it didn't work for me. I grow my hair. I got hairy legs too. Oh no. But yeah, who cares? if people's actually caring what people's doing with their body, do you know what I mean? There's so many people injecting their faces, injecting their selves with toxins and putting makeup on their faces, hiding their natural beauties. That's not me. Other people can do that if they want. That's okay. If you want to spray toxic chemicals under your arms and that cause cancer, you do you, boo. But I'm natural, I'm divine, I'm a queen, and I love myself. So anyway, let's get back to business. Oh, it's not even business. Let's get back to the spiritual divinity, the fun. Yes. So we're talking about Nine of Cups, being free, being rich. Yes. Thank you, Drew Day. Keep being you. Yes, keep being you too. Whoop whoop. We gotta be our authentic selves. Literally, when people's hating on others, they've got nothing better to do with their life. Go spend your energy and hate on someone like Bill Gates. Okay. So we got Nine of Cups here. People don't know your armpit hair is your armpit's natural antiperspirant. Yeah, for real. For real. They don't know. Because they didn't let it grow. Oh, I'm growing with the flow. Gotta get to know. Oh. So the universe is gifting you your desire, choosing joy, manifested dreams, and gratitude and abundance. Woo! Who's Bill Gates? You don't want to know who Bill Gates is. He's a billionaire, you know, all these billionaires that are making money off the world. We don't even want to go into Bill Gates. We'll not give him energy. Yeah. But, yeah. Don't tarnish your beautiful, innocent soul with Bill Gates if you're only 10, you know? Love yourself and express yourself and don't worry about those things, you know? My point is, if we're hating on, just don't hate on people, but, you know, we have sacred rage and sacred anger that is permitted to speak on the injustices of the world. So if we see injustice in the world, then, you know, but still hate isn't great, because when we hate, it's only upsetting our own inner selves. It's holding on to that, you know. So to live in love is the way. So yeah, I agree with you, Drew Day, but we'll not put that on there because then we'll have more questions on what that means. Yes, anyway, here we go. So the universe is gifting you more than you desire. Choosing joy. So we're choosing joy over hate, so we're letting go of Bill Gates. Gratitude, abundance, and the shadow is delayed gratification, unfulfilled desires, unmanifested dreams, greed blocking your path. So that brings us to Bill Gates again. He's very greedy. You know, and not appreciating the simple things in life and smugness. So the simple things in life, like loving yourself, letting your hair grow, just being authentically true to you. That is the simple things in life, you know. And sometimes we can get so greedy. We don't need greed in the world. There's enough to go around. This world is so abundant. This world is so abundant. This is the card of abundance and happiness, and it's often fittingly called the wish card. What have you been wishing for? Allow yourself to experience how fulfilling this journey can be, and fill your life with all the laughter and bliss needed to spur you into the next phase of your happiness. Take stock of all the feels that are surfacing, and remember to practice gratitude for the manifestation of your dreams. The appearance of this card in your spread is an auspicious message of prosperity, harmony, and getting what you desire. What you have been working towards is coming to you. So enjoy life's pleasures and sink into the awe and wonder of a joyous heart. So that is what we were saying, you know, is like, do your thing, let yourself shine, don't hold back, you know, and visualizing what you want to manifest in life, and it will come to be true. And yeah, this is just reminding me of this as well, of the like the joyous heart and Zadkiel. And when we're holding on to hate and stuff, we can't have a joyous heart. When we're hating on others, our heart's not joyous, you know. So redirect that, put our energy, focus your energy on what you want, you know. Spreading empathy is tough, not gonna lie. For sure, empathy is tough, not gonna lie. I feel you, but empathy is kind of like a natural thing what people have, and you can, like, I'm very empathic and feel the feeling of everyone, and it can be heavy, man. I feel that it can be so heavy. But yeah, it's also, yeah. Yeah, it can be a blessing and a curse sometimes, being empathic and caring. But yeah, it's always good to keep a pure heart, you know. And yeah, so and this is the affirmation as well, is I open my grateful heart to the gifts that are coming my way. So gratitude is the attitude, guys. Gratitude is the attitude, and that is how we raise our frequency. That is how we change our situation. Even if it's a situation one we're not particularly happy on, still by showing gratitude for what we can be grateful for, manifest and attract more into our lives to be grateful for, you know. And all these billionaires know these hacks. So even if they're doing nefarious things, they know the hacks to keep their energy in the energy that's attracting more of what they want in life. So we got to teach these hacks to each other. Do you know what I mean? All these hidden spiritual ways. Now we're tapping into just the regular people, you know, we're rising our consciousness, and there's a spiritual awakening happening. So we get our abundant gifts, you know, by shining our light and sharing our authentic truth, because there's more of us in this world than any of them. So we're here to be that light and to shine, you know. Yeah, powerful stuff. Powerful stuff. That there's like a little smoky thing there, but it kind of reminded me of the finger touching the finger on Michelangelo's God painting thing in the Sistine Chapels. And it's like God, when we create and we touch it in with God, you know, because we are creators, we are God, we are part of God, you know. And it is tough to care too much at times, but that's why we got to let go of things. That's why we have to move. We have to release energy, emotion. Our emotions need that motion, or they stagnate and cause disease. We've got to, you know, tap the body, shake the body, move the body, dance it out, you know, and know that it's beautiful to have a caring heart, you know. It's beautiful to have a caring heart, but all emotions, even happy emotions, when we hold on to them, they can make us sad, you know. So yeah, and self-care as well. Self-care is so important, and sometimes we can care so much about others and the empathy for others in the world, and we can forget ourselves sometimes, or accept unacceptable behavior towards us because we have empathy for those people. But we have to have self-compassion, self-empathy too, and self-care. And sometimes it's okay to just tune out from the world. It's okay to just leave your phone at home, go out into the woods for an hour, and, you know, just be in nature and breathe and meditate, and or just have a bath, you know, just tune out, switch off the phone for a little while. And it's okay, you know. And we got, as much care and love we're putting out into the world, we got to put that into ourselves as well. And I mean, like, pure love, not superficial love, like really nurturing ourselves, you know, with nourishing foods, and resting enough, and listening to ourselves and expressing ourselves, and, you know, nurturing that inner child. and what our inner child may need, you know. So we also have Four of Pentacles. I'm sure that one as well is about like, oh, clutching onto your stuff and a bit scarcity mindset. So that fits in as well of like releasing things and not holding on so much to everything, because whatever we hold on to, we'll feel sad, because we have to detach in life. We have to detach. Nothing lasts forever, you know. And it doesn't mean being cold, but just being able to detach and release, you know. I had to remind myself to be less empathetic at times, because you meet some people who are too draining and can't be helped, really. Yes, absolutely. And we could still feel empathy for those people, but we have to detach, have some separation and detach from that, because some people can't be helped because they don't want to help themselves. So if people don't want to help themselves, what can we do? Nothing. And I've even experienced that in my own family. I've had to detach from my own family because I spent since being a child trying to help them and see things from their way and empathize, and it's just drained my life force. I could have been ahead in life so much more had I focused on my own needs more, you know. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I love to inspire others, and I'm inspired by others. You know, we're all in this together and we're all one, you know, and we have to share our gifts and share our experiences and help each other, you know. So I really appreciate that. Thank you. And yeah, like, we can't let ourselves be drained by these energy vampires in the world. Our energy is so potent and important, and we must preserve our energy, rest more. We live in this capitalist society that's like, do, go, go, go. And it's just like people don't even have time to live or breathe or anything anymore. So yeah, just having that time for ourselves is so important, to take care of ourselves and to take care of others, of course, but we can only give from an overflowing cup. When we give from an empty cup, we then hold resentment and frustrations and things, because we didn't have the capacity to give. So it's so important to build our capacity to be able to hold more, and we do that by releasing and detaching and just having that ebb and flow balance in things, you know, and meeting our own needs, meeting our inner child's needs, sometimes reparenting ourselves and giving ourselves what we never had. And that can be hard and it can be unfair, you know, but you're worth it. You're so worthy and worth it of loving yourself deeply and knowing yourself deeply. Like, what more beautiful journey than that? And then everything else is just a bonus emanating from that. So we've got Four of Pentacles here. So she looks a bit sad. She's clutching her purse. And yeah, she's hoping and wishing, I feel. Light Seer. Stability, savings, success, generosity, accepting your worth. See, accepting your worth, knowing you're worthy of love and loving yourself and nurturing yourself, you know. Being in the flow with the universe, feelings of gratitude, helping others in times of need. So that's it. And we can only help others in their times of need if we're out of our times of need. But if we're all stressed out and strung out, how are we able to help anybody else, you know? So it's not selfish to take care of ourselves and to look after ourselves. And we can be generous when we fill our cup. Our cup's overflowing, we can be generous with that and it's flowing out, you know? And be in flow with the universe, you know, there's the ever-present Tao, and that's like the life force energy of the earth and the world and the cosmos. And it's, you know, Mother Nature's always giving endlessly and never asking for anything in return. And Mother Nature is abundant with everything what we need and is ever giving. So when we receive from Mother Nature and we give back to her, you know, we're always provided for. It's all about the ebb and flow. Yeah, and that's it. We just got to let go with the flow. And the shadow aspect of this card is hoarding, coveting, lack mentality, placing too much value on money, a need to be more charitable. So yeah, that's it. You know, when we're clutching our purse and clutching onto everything, but not even about money, but our own gifts. We're like, oh, I don't want to share with anyone else because I don't feel good enough, or I've been hurt in the past, you know. But when we give, we receive. It is that ebb and flow, and the more that we give and put our beautiful energy, unique energy into the world, the more we receive, you know. But it's also pouring into ourselves so that we have that energy and capacity to pour out into the world. So beautiful. And we really can be charitable from a pure, open heart when we've given ourselves the solid foundations to do that. And sometimes it's just the simple things: sleeping enough, eating enough, eliminating enough waste from our life, you know, nourishing, drinking enough water, hydration, you know, and having fun, playing. Like, we forgot how to play, how to just not have a plan or a structure, just do something for the fun of it. Everyone's trying to be like good and the best at everything, and then they stop themselves from doing it, you know. Now with AI as well, everything's so perfected, it gives us room for human imperfections. So just play. If you sing a bit out of tune, who cares if you enjoy singing, you know? If you miss that note, it doesn't matter. It's not the end of the world. But you were singing and expressing yourself and having fun, so that's what matters, you know? Yeah, yeah. So you're building your life coin by coin, and you've reached a moment of stability. So that's what I'm saying, bit by bit, step by step, you know? And building that routine for ourselves, but also with space to play and be in free flow, you know? Getting here signifies an interval where you can rest, reevaluate, and take stock. Likely you are being reminded to double check those foundations and to save some money for a rainy day. How do you feel about your finances? Continue towards your goal without over focusing on possessions, and let go of any jealousy derived from another person's position in life. You know, I heard that when we're jealous of others, that isn't necessarily a bad thing. We can self-inquire on that and be like, hey, why am I feeling jealous towards this person? And usually it's because that person is shining their light or doing the things that we wish we could be doing. So why can't we be doing that? All we have to do is change our perspective and move that out the way and be like, I'm inspired, rather than I feel jealous. I feel inspired by that person. And I've realized that I thought that I didn't have what it takes to do that, but why do I feel that way? You know, because we all have what it takes to do what our hearts desires, because that's what we came here to do, to live our joy, to live our soul frequency, to do what brings us joy, you know, to be authentic in ourselves. And no one else can do what you do in this world, and that is a fact. So just do what it is, what you feel called to do, you know, when we're not harming any others, go for it. Thank you. No worries if you leave the live, you can come back later. I'll be doing more lives soon. And yeah, I appreciate your energy being here, everyone who's been here today. But yeah, thank you, Drew. I feel your energy's been beautiful here. And I do remember us chatting on the lives before a while back. So yeah, I appreciate your energy. And yeah, stay tuned when it manifests and the divine flow comes. It comes and it goes, you know, so it's all good. We're everywhere where we're meant to be at the time that we're meant to be, and we never miss what is meant for us. So yeah, big up, big powers, big energies, and stay beautiful and empathic, you know. Send in some love. So yeah, Negative feelings around abundance will breed energy blocks big enough to hold back even the most magical of trajectories. So that's what we were saying about holding on to stagnant emotions, like block us from the new, fresh, beautiful things what are coming our way. So we have to let those energies in motion, and then it creates space for all the blessings. Woo! Yeah, big love. Gotta be free flowing, you know? We got to represent, let the abundance flow. If scarcity mindset is haunting your actions, ask yourself if you're looking down on others based on how much money they have or don't have. Actively save and give in the world. That's that ebb and flow again. And focus on feeling excited and expansive. Like, excited is such a powerful emotion when we feel excited, because we have faith that the future is bringing us everything what we need. So we're happy in the moment, you know, then that draws that into our future, and from the future into the now, because now is the only time that we have anyway. There's no other time, you know. The past is gone, but when the past was here, that was the now, and when the future arrives, that is the now. So everything that happens in the now. And yeah, keep being confident, people, you know. Be confident in who you are and how you express and how you show up in the world, you know. Yeah, it's good to be confident and excited about who we are and how we are, you know. Never let any haters bring you down, because they're just jealous, you know. So, and we all know that jealousy just means we're doing something that they're too scared to do. And when we're jealous of others, it's because someone else is doing something that we're too scared to do. So remove the fear, live in love, and do what your heart's desires. Be how you authentically want to be, you know. Love yourself. Thank you for the love, guys. I live an abundant life and I have more than I need. I live an abundant life and I have more than I need. Yeah, and that's giving from the overflowing cup, like what I was saying, you know. And we always have more than what we need, you know, when we're living in the abundance mindset. But when we're in scarcity mindset, it's like, oh, we don't have faith that it's going to come back around. And it's like, oh, this is all I have. And you know. But then sometimes we can overgive when we're not filling our cup up first to give from the overflow, and we're giving from nothing, you know. So it's like that balance, the balance and the ebb and the flow. You are so welcome. Thank you as well for being here. We've got this last card. Boop boop. Death and rebirth. Death and rebirth. Yep. Death isn't scary. That's that ebb and flow again, because death can seem scary, but not if we flip it and twist it into it's a rebirth, you know, because nothing ever really dies. You cannot kill energy, so we don't even die. Our flesh suits may die, but our souls go on to another space, and we manifest back into a different body, you know. But I feel like I've died many times in this lifetime. I've lived many lifetimes in this lifetime. I've been many different versions of myself, you know. And I love these tower moments. I love these moments where, you know, it clears space fresh in these death moments to come into living and life, to remind us of life, to remind us of the rebirth. And it's number 13 on this card, and some people think that 13 is an unlucky number, but it is a lucky number. It's the divine feminine number. You know, there used to be 13 months in the year, and the Romans changed it to be 12 months in the year to mess up the calendar and get everyone messed up, you know. But with 13 months in the year, there was exactly 28 days in a month, you know, like the women's cycle of 28 days and the moon cycle of 28 days. Months, you know, 28 days makes sense in a month. Now it's like some are 28, some are 30, some are 31. But anyway, So we have this death card and rebirth energy. Light Seer, cycles of transformation, rebirth, transition, change, new beliefs, newfound awareness, endings, a symbolic death, an initiation process. Clinging to the past, fear of change, sentimental attachments, forces of destruction. Sorry, I've gone into the shadow. Let's rewind. Light Seer, cycles of transformation, rebirth, transition, change, new beliefs, newfound awareness, endings, a symbolic death, and initiation process. It is beautiful, a cleansing, a death. Sometimes death is good, you know? Like when we're fasting, all the unhealthy cells die and are eliminated from the body so we can be fresh. And it initiates us into something new. Shadow Seer, clinging to the past, fear of change, sentimental attachments, forces of destruction, morality, end of hope, mourning and loss. And then that matches this card from before, you know, where we're so stuck on the past and our mourning and what we've lost. We miss what's right in front of us and miss the opportunities coming towards us. So yeah, it's about seeing the death as a rebirth, cleansing and clearing that energy, ready, new, a fresh page for what is coming through and what's coming into our lives. You are on the cusp of a massive transformation, and it's time to mourn the end of one phase while celebrating the birth of another. This energy of transmutation and rebirth signals a beautiful metamorphosis. See, it's a metamorphosis like the butterfly, you know, and the caterpillar dies and pupates and turns into mush and then forms into a butterfly and is reborn. Yeah. This metamorphosis will allow you to expand your consciousness and move closer to your own divine essence. A cycle in your life, relationship, a belief, a career path, or an outdated plan for the future is coming to an inevitable end. Deep breathe in if this scares you, sweet light. This change is needed. Know that this card urges you to release what is already losing energy and focus on things that are already gaining momentum. Welcome the possibility of something new and allow this phase to come to a graceful end. Look towards the magic of this newfound horizon, because underneath its morbid exterior, the Death card heralds exciting times filled with the brightness of so much potential. New light awaits. And the affirmation is, I allow myself to let go of the past in order to add energy to new beginnings. I allow myself to let go of the past in order to add energy to new beginnings. That is beautiful. And that literally matches up with the first tarot card, what we pulled, where she was wasting her energies down the drain and clinging on to the past, you know, missing all the beautiful blessings that's in her cup, in her bowl, you know. And it's the same here, you know, the light can come through, you know, the light after the darkness. And then this beautiful card we had before, the Nine of Cups, and shining your light and your energy and not holding on to things too much, allowing, you know, when we give and share, it brings more abundance. When we give and share, it brings more abundance. So share your light, shine your light. Let yourself have as many rebirths as you need to have in this time. You know, reinvent yourself every day if you want to, you know, if that's what you feel called to do, as long as it's authentic and true to you, you know. There's so many fakers in this world. There's so many plastic, like, there's AI. We're living in an AI world. What about the natural intelligence? Because you have natural intelligence within you, a natural spark, a divine light, glowing being to put your energies out into this world, you know. So when we share from our hearts, when we share our authentic expression And I'm not saying it has to be all love and light. We have to release all of our emotions, any of them. You know, I just had a rant on my Instagram before doing this video, and I've felt uplifted in this video, but I was ranting a bit on my Instagram story to like release what was present for me at that time, you know, and then I've moved through it. But if I held on to it and didn't speak on it, it would stagnate, you know. So yeah, the karmic release, letting go of our energetic debts by bringing it full circle, you know. Clarity of vision, sacred activists, you know, these beautiful cards, beautiful angels. Thank you, angels, for being with us today. I'm going to be closing this reading now. And yeah, just know that these are all archetypes that are within us. Every aspect, every angel, every tarot card, every zodiac are all elements of that's within us all, and we are the whole, you know. And different parts of us want to come out to play at different timings, you know, and that's beautiful. We're here to play. We're here to play and enjoy this human experience, you know, the highs, the lows, the ups, the downs, the heartaches and pains, and also the joy and elations, you know. It's everything. It's the ebb and the flow. It's the balance of all encompassing in one, you know. And yeah, the message of today is that no one else is you and no one else can do what you do. So shine your light, shine your gifts, share your gifts from an overflowing cup. Remember to nourish yourself, nurture yourself, love yourself deeply, and then let that roll and emanate out, you know. And just be authentic and true to you. Let go of the haters, or use that energy, alchemize that lead into gold. Boop, boop, boop. Everything is inspiration, divinity, divination. Yeah. Even if we have procrastination, we just need rest or a vacation. What? Anyway, I'm feeling a bit hyperactive, guys. Love you so much. Have a beautiful day. Thank you to the angels, the ancestors, the divine spirit guides that have been with us today, giving us these messages. And yeah, I'll just show these. This is the angel deck. Kyle, Gary, who does beautiful, beautiful angel decks. And then there's Chris and the Lightseers Tarot. I know it's backwards, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, so beautiful decks there. And if you'd like a personal tarot reading, give me a message and we can sort something out. Yeah, I'm feeling into my prices, so it'll be intuitive prices at the moment. I'm not sure, but we're rolling with it, you know. I'll also be offering Reiki healing soon, or I am offering Reiki healing, but I'll have prices and things for that as well soon. So anything healing, Reiki healing energy, or tarot oracle reading, or a combination, just hit me up and we can sort something out. Thank you so much, Drew. Appreciate you. And yeah, anyone hating on the natural beauty, sort it out. You know, we got too much AI in the world, and this is for all the haters. Yeah. Let your armpits be free, guys. You know, I stopped deforesting my body a long time ago, and I feel great for it. It's like 9 years now with armpit hair and body hair. You know, it was relentless trying to get rid of it all the time and just hating on myself. And then all the plastics of all the razors and the products and everything that we're sold that we have to buy to feel good in ourselves. And I even bought a laser hair removal thing. And then I thought, hey, instead of changing what's on the outside, I need to change what's on the inside. So I changed that. And I didn't like it at first. I hated my hair at first, but then I learned to love it, and now I love it. I wouldn't change it, and I just let the haters roll off. Yeah. I love myself, so what's worth more than that, you know? And them hating don't love themselves, so I feel sorry for them. Well, I don't feel anything for them. No energy, anyway. yeah, the hair does stop your sweat. You know, when I used to shave, like I sweat a lot as a person, and when I used to shave, I'd sweat so much more because it's just like a flat surface and your pores are all exposed. But then with the hair there, that soaks up the moisture, you know, and down below in that region, that protects your lady parts with your lady garden, protects everything there. And when we're shaving all that off all the time, it's causing more infections and things like that, you know. And it's opening up wounds for stuff to get in there, you know, and it's not nice. It grows back right away. It's meant to be there. It wouldn't be made if it wasn't meant to be there. Um, oh, how is there another moderator? I don't understand. It says, it won't let me show it, but it says, if you don't mind asking, how do you respond to haters who insult your armpits in real life? So actually face to face, I've only ever had one guy when I first went hairy who said something immature about it. I can't even remember so much, but it didn't really bother me because he was like drinking in the park at like midday and like just peeing on the grass in the middle of the kids park, you know, in the middle of town, not even against a tree or anything, just in the middle of a field. So I thought, someone who is that way, how am I going to let them affect how I feel? I'm not. And then most people that hate on it is on the screen, do you know what I mean? And it doesn't matter. I just let it roll off of me. I'm a vegan, so I've received a lot of hate. People hate vegans, you know, so I've managed to deal with haters. And yeah, I just use whatever they're throwing at me. I create some content from it and use that energy as inspiration. Do you know what I mean? That is a true alchemist. Whatever energy we're given, we use it to our advantage. Do you know what I mean? You don't even need to return to sender like, okay, thanks. Yeah, I'll take that energy. I'll turn it into gold because I'm fantastic, you know? And you're fantastic too. So never let anyone hate on you. Whatever you want to do with your body, do with your body, you know? No shame. People's living in so much shame these days and not even in tune with themselves. So I wouldn't bother listening to half the people because they're listening to all the adverts and everything, what's telling them how to live. Most people's decisions aren't even made by themselves. It's so much goes into our subconscious. So unless we're actively reprogramming our subconscious consciously with what we consciously how we want to be, then we're being programmed by something else subconsciously, you know. And most people shave not because they want to, but because colonial systems what told them to do that so that they could profit off of them hating themselves, you know. Well, stick it to capitalism and love yourself, you know. Be free. And I know loads of hairy women now, you know, when I go to these conscious hippie festival things and I'm like, yeah, there's my other no makeup and hairy ladies loving it, you know, because even guys feel pressure to shave these days as well. And like, yeah, you know, thank you, thank you, thank you. So much love, so much love. Right, I'm signing off now. So thank you so much. Have a beautiful day, beautiful beings, and I really appreciate you being here with me today and or whenever people's tuning in. So much love and Reiki healing energy. Thank you. Take care. See you soon. Bye bye.